One of the most disturbing videos I've seen over the past week has been a video of local college students either removing or deliberately covering over the kidnap signs, bringing awareness to over 200 hostages currently kidnapped in Gaza. While I don't know who started this idea of printing signs and putting them up around town, I for one certainly appreciate this effort to raise awareness. Putting a face to a name for all to see the innocence of these civilians, from small babies to grandparents, surely makes an impression on anyone with a heart. It sends shivers down my spine just to think of their current condition. Yet, there are people who walk the streets with us and ride the subway with us, and they seem like upstanding, ethical people, but in reality they are so cruel as to rip down these posters. The hate in some of our college youth is very disturbing. The willful ignorance in many of our college youth is alarming. We must open our eyes to this reality. We must ask ourselves, from where are people in this generation getting their morals? From where are people supposed to get their morals? I speak of this subject for it is in this week's Parsha, Lecha, that we read about the first hostage rescue mission. We also read of the person who spread awareness that someone was kidnapped and being held in captivity. Avraham has a nephew Lot who lives in Sodom. A war broke out between 5 kings and 4 kings. The province of Sodom and its king were defeated in battle by the 4 kings, and the victors captured Lot and took him into captivity. Before the days of social media or even faxes and newspapers, it took time for news to travel. There was a giant gentleman named Og. He knew about this war and he decided to travel to Avraham to tell him that his nephew was kidnapped. Upon hearing the news, Avraham immediately prepares his men for a rescue operation. He's going to get Lot back. It doesn't matter that they are 4 kings with huge provinces and armies, and he's got just a few hundred men. None of these calculations matter. All he knows is that he, as the uncle, is responsible for the safety and security of his nephew. If need be, he will go to war for him. We read how God performs open and revealed miracles for Avraham. The world witnesses God's power over nature as Avraham defeats 4 kings and their armies. He rescues his nephew and he goes back home to continue his work spreading Judaism, monotheism in this world, and connecting people to Almighty God. The Parsha gives strength and direction to every single Jew at all times and in all places. This week, this part of our history is read in every shul around the world. This Shabbos, the energy of miraculous mission to rescue hostages is alive more than ever before. On the bottom of each of these kidnapped signs it reads, "Please help bring them home alive." This is a call to action to each and every Jew and to each and every decent human being. We must do all we can to bring them home alive. I believe with my heart and soul that every thought, speech, and behavior of mine sends reverberations that travel around the world. What I do here certainly affects someone elsewhere. The current battlefield is not limited to the border of Gaza. We have all been called up for duty. The way in which we, outside of Israel, must serve is by living more Jewishly. It's as simple as that. Additional acts of mitzvahs, Torah study, and charity. If we do not behave more Jewishly in this time of need, then we are deserters. Our people need us, and we've been empowered to help. But more than to humans, I read the last line as a plea to Almighty God. Dear God, your people have suffered enough. Please, we beg of you, bring them home alive now. Jews have been united. Jews have been praying. Jews have been so charitable. Now, like in the times of Avraham, it's your turn to show us and the world miracles and bring them home alive. I wish you a